Fellowship. I hope your week is going well. It's off to a good start. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. And you know, the tired that I'm feeling, it isn't anything other than what we're all going through. I mean, I'm getting more sleep now than I was 5-6 weeks ago. I'd like to do a lot more yard work, but I can't really do that because of the rain. And you know, I guess maybe I'm eating more than I usually do. I mean, it's noon, so you got to eat lunch. You got dinner, you got to eat dinner. And you know, when you walk past the refrigerator, you got to open it up and see if something's in there. You know, I think I'm figuring out what the 19 means. COVID-19. You know, when kids go off to college, they battle the freshman 15. I'm battling the COVID-19. So I don't know. But, you know, I digress. I'm tired. And I bet you're tired too. And it's not because we're working too much or not getting enough sleep. It's just the stress of having to go through what we're going through. And you know, I was thinking about it and I thought of some verses that I wanted to share with you because they are good verses. Matthew 11:28 through 30. Have you read those lately? I think they're so appropriate for where we are right now. Jesus had just been talking to some people and he'd really been compelling them to quit doing life their way and instead do it God's way. And so this is an invitation. And what does he say? He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon me and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." You know what Jesus was saying there? He was saying, come to me because my way is easier. Did you catch that? I mean, there's still a yoke. It's his yoke instead of someone else's yoke. There's still a burden, but it's his burden. And he's saying, my yoke is easy. My burden is light in comparison to all those other things. Do you remember what a yoke was? A yoke was something you put on the oxen when it was time to work. I mean, they had a yoke on them so that the two oxen would go in the same direction while they were pulling a wagon or pulling a plow. I mean, a yoke meant it wasn't going to be a relaxing day out in the pasture. It was time to expend some energy. It was time to do some work. So it's not like Jesus is promising the easy life. He's promising the easier life. You know, when all this stuff started, I don't know if you remember, but our family, we were supposed to go skiing. For the last 30 years, literally for the last 30 years at spring break, we've gone skiing. I think there's only been one time we didn't get to do it. I grew up in Salt Lake, got 3 brothers that are still there, and one of the places that we really like to go, at least some of us really like to go, is a place called Alta. Literally, Alta is probably some of the best skiing in the entire world. There's something about the snow, the altitude, perfect conditions, and it is arguably one of the best places to ski in all of the world. And it's 35 minutes from where my brother lives. And the thing that's interesting about Alta is there's no easy trails. When you get to the top of the lift, there's all these signs telling you go this way, go that way, here's where this trailhead is, this is where this trail is. And then there will be a sign that says easier way down. You go to other resorts, it'll say easy way down, but at Alta, there is no easy way down. It's the easier way down. You'll maybe be going down a trail and that trail will fork, and there might be a sign that points one direction. It'll say the easier way down. That's what Jesus was saying. He was saying, follow me, yoke up with me, take my burden because it is easier than the alternative. Now here's my encouragement for you. You know, the tired that I'm feeling and the tired that I think you're feeling, it's not because we're not getting enough sleep. It's not because we're working too hard. It's because of this stress that we're under. And maybe that needs to be a red flag to us that we're trying to handle this stress by ourselves. And Jesus is saying, you know what? You're gonna go through this coronavirus. I mean, you've had 6 weeks of it, and you're probably gonna have several more weeks of it. It's gonna be hard. It's not easy. And let's face it, this isn't hard. This isn't easy what we're doing. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to work from home. It's a lot of work to be by yourself. It's a lot of work to take care of all these things in the ways that we're having to take care of it. It's hard. And guess what? There's no getting out of it. But Jesus says there's an easier way to do it than the alternative. You can handle it on your own, and that's hard. Or Jesus says, come and yoke up with me. Maybe those times when we're tired, when we're stressed, when we're really feeling it, maybe what we need to remember is Jesus' invitation. Maybe that needs to be this red flag that says, hey, you know what? I'm trying to handle it on my own. I'm thinking about this stuff on my own. I need to do it Jesus' way. Hey, I hope you have a great week. Just a reminder, Wednesday night, we're going to be doing a gathering at 7 o'clock. Details are at the website. You can click in, and it's very enjoyable. It's great to fellowship with one another. It's a great time when we close it with prayer and mention what needs to be prayed for. And so I encourage you to join in with that. But most of all, what I really want to encourage you this week is take this burden, take this yoke, and make sure that it's Jesus' burden, Jesus' yoke that you're yoked up with, because that is far easier than the alternative. Hey, we love you. We miss you. Have a great week.